Is there a moment from that time in the military, or is there a lesson that you learned from an instructor or from someone else that you replay regularly in your head and it still influences the kinds of decisions that you make?
Do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it.
Well, that sounds familiar.
Done deal.
Did I get that from you?
Yeah.
You think I got that from you?
I
Because
hope-
I say that all the time.
I hope you did. Hope you did. That's what I learned. That's what I learned. The second big thing I learned, right, is when you screw up, admit you screwed up, and then find the plan to fix it.
Wow.
So when you walk in the door, you know you screwed up. We all know when we screw up, right? There's no secret to it. Yeah,
Was there a time that you screwed up and you had to do that? You had to own up
Oh,
to
I've done it
it?
many times. Like I said,
I'm talking about in your military
Oh
experience
yeah,
in
oh yeah,
particular.
and I don't even want to get into those stories. Those cruisers are crazy when you I don't want to get into those things.
Okay.
But yet, those were the moments when I learned from the older guys, the chiefs and stuff, where they said, I had one chief that said, I remember I did something and I got caught doing it, and it wasn't the right thing to do, and I started to try to explain my way out because, as you said earlier, I can sort of maneuver and move things. Shut it down. I do not want to hear that.
I don't want to hear your excuse.
I want you to tell me you effed up, and then I want you to tell me there's a plan. So, if you're not ready to do that, walk back out that door. And when you walk back in that door, be ready to say that you effed up and then have a plan. So I'm looking at him and I'm like going, well, I'm not ready to say, I don't know what, I'm still processing. I got to admit that I effed up, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't have no plan. So I turned around and walked out the door, right? And about an hour or 2 hours later, I come back in and I said, hey, Chief, I think it was Chief Miller. I said, Chief Miller, I really screwed up. And I apologize, and I wasn't thinking, I didn't see this, and I didn't see that, and da-da-da-da-da. And here's how I'm going to fix it.
Yes.
So he looked at
Like
me.
it.
He looked at me and he says, go do it. That was the end of the conversation. Go do it. So when he did that to me, from that point forward, it was easy for me to walk in the room and say, hey, listen, I screwed up, but here's my plan. Because I'm expecting the guy on the other end of the side to go do it. And sure enough, that has always been my experience. It's always been my experience, no matter civilian world, military world, whatever it is. If I walk in the door and say, hey, listen, I screwed up. I did this, this, and this. Yet here's how I think we can go fix it. No one says anything.
Right. It's actually empowering to take responsibility for it. And I bet that's something you teach to your business coaching clients too.
Absolutely. I say, hey, listen,
to be an entrepreneur is to fail.
Yeah. You got it. As I said earlier, I don't mind failing. I don't mind making the mistakes. I just don't want to make the same mistake twice. So that means that I've got to own up to the mistake so that way I don't make it twice, and then create the plan so that I don't go through the same thing. Yeah. And that's strategic thinking, which most entrepreneurs don't do because they're all technicians. Yet that's part of our job to do, is to teach them how to think strategically.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be the lesson in the military. Do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it would be the big one. And the second one is, when you mess up, say you messed up, but come in with a plan.
If you liked this video and want to listen to the full episode, go to your favorite podcast app and subscribe to the Dave Crenshaw Success Project. You can also find all the full episodes at SuccessProject.Show.